Hey everyone, welcome back to Collector Not Hoarder. This is Tom. I want to run through a stack of postcards that I got here. I've had some pretty good luck here over the last few months picking up postcards, and I've wanted to share some of them with you. I got a whole array of them here from baseball, non-sports, boxing, and I kind of feel that postcards are kind of a sweet spot for images and detail. Like, I know there's some guys that only want the standard size cards, that they don't want to move up another size in a card. But for me, like, even affordability, like, postcard is kind of like a nice spot where you can still get some stuff for a really good price. But the first one I want to share is actually a duplicate, and this is from the PC 792 baseball series. And this is a 1906 postcard, and it's got Frank Chance in the image here. This is an upgrade for me from my other one. I wanted a clean, undivided back, which signifies that this is from 1906. And I have the Jimmy Collins one from this set, and it's a really nice copy, and it's the undivided back as well. So I just wanted to upgrade so I could match the two of them together. But very happy to add this one. It's probably one of the nicest copies of that card that I've seen. Another really nice postcard, very nice copy is this. I don't know if it's 1910 or 1911. I think the earliest I've seen it postmarked is 1911. But this is of Comiskey Park. You can get this image in a white border version, which that was released later. That would have been like in the 19 teens, somewhere in there. But this full bleed color is one of the earlier versions. And the main reason why I wanted this was because the gentleman right here, that's Charles Comiskey, overlooking the game. You can also find this card without him in the image too. So I wanted an early copy with Comiskey in the picture. And it is a blank back. Also, super nice copy of this card. But this was definitely one that I wanted to add. I like a lot of these stadium postcards, and this was one of the key ones that I wanted. This is really cool. This is actually a pretty tough postcard. This is the I think it's 1910 Hopkins Brothers Champion Lady Baseball Club postcard. This is unposted as well. Pretty nice copy of this card. But the key feature on this card is the gentleman there in the middle, and that is J.L. Wilkinson. And he is a baseball Hall of Famer. And this is, I believe, one of the only images you can get of him on a card. And he was actually the one that founded the Kansas City Monarchs in 1920. And he was also known because he was the one that signed Jackie Robinson in 1945. So any guys that collect Hall of Fame baseball, this is going to be one you're going to need in your collection here with J.L. Wilkinson. But great postcard, tough one to find. Does get a little pricey for that one, but I still think it's still in a relatively affordable value. Let's see. Next, this is a 1912 presidential election postcard with Taft, Uncle Sam, and Teddy Roosevelt. And you can see that Uncle Sam's saying, "Back up, you've batted twice." So that was in reference to kind of his controversial third term he tried running for under the Bull Moose Party. So this was just a really cool, what I would kind of call a crossover postcard here. It's got baseball and my non-sports presidents in there. So just a really cool copy. It's got a little staining, unposted, but just a neat postcard to add. And speaking of Roosevelt, I found this. This is actually a really nice image of Roosevelt. But this is, I think, probably right around 1910, could be earlier, but this is a Beagles postcard. Just a really nice image of him, clean postcard. I love non-sport stuff, and anytime I can find really cool images on some postcards of some non-sports guys, I like to grab them because they're I don't want to call them dirt cheap, but you can get them for super cheap. And this one, I think I paid less than $10 for this, but just a great image of Roosevelt. Another cool one. This is a rotary postcard. I think this is roughly 1906. Great image of Winston Churchill. Gotta find the right spot where I don't get too much glare. There we go. Yeah, nice Winston Churchill postcard. This is unposted. This is posted in 1908, and I believe it was 1906. I tried referencing some other postcards that were similar. You can usually base it off of this number that's down here to kind of give you a generalized idea of when these rotary postcards were distributed. And so I came up with roughly 1906 for that one. I could be wrong, but it's in the ballpark at least. Next, this is another rotary postcard. This is of Leo Tolstoy. Just a very cool image of Tolstoy. I've seen this one dated with his signature on it before in 1909. So I know this is a pre-1909 card. I'm not exactly sure what year, but a little rough on the back. But I think I paid $5 for it. And so, well worth it. I just think it's a great image of Tolstoy. I love the sepia tones on the postcards. I think that's just awesome. Another really cool image of Mark Twain. So I think this Twain one is also like a pre-1909 one. It's in the similar series as the Tolstoy there, but this is just a great card that you rarely see of Mark Twain sitting in his little, looks like maybe wicker style chair. But man, just a cool image. That's what I'm saying, like postcards are like where it's at when it comes to images. It's just the freaking sweet spot of pictures. Another one, what's a video of mine without having a Charlie Chaplin card? This is a 1916 Chaplin. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I like finding the theater promos, and this was another one that I came across for the Star Theater. But just a really fun image of Chaplin. You got all these little silhouettes of him down there and doing different poses, and him laying across the landscape of this one. Just a great image of Chaplin. Big fan of collecting him. Another couple of guys that I'm a big fan of collecting, and that is the Wright Brothers. And this is a rotary postcard of the Wright Brothers getting their plane out of a hangar. This is a image that you don't see very often. And what I was trying to research is where this was actually at. And from what I gather, this was in France where they were taking this out. And it's actually near the Le Mans track, the 24-hour Le Mans race track. So that's where this hangar was located. But just a really neat image. You can see them down here pulling it out, and some people watching as they do it. But I think this was like 1908, 1909 for this. It is unposted, which most of these postcards that I'm sharing today are unposted. Next is, let's see. This is what I believe to be about 1908. This is Hall of Fame cricketer Monty Noble. So just a cool image, cool cricket image. I love collecting some cricket, especially of the Hall of Fame guys. And this is just a great shot of Noble. Another blank back. And I'm actually a big fan. You know, these are what I call, or what I said earlier was a rotary postcard. And they have some of the earliest picture postcards, photographic postcards. Most of them are printed over in England or London, Great Britain, you know, over in that area. But this is another rotary cricket postcard, and this actually has, this is the 1907-08 Australian team. And the main guy that I wanted on this, let's see if we can get the clear up there. That is J.B. Hobbs down here in the corner. That's Jack Hobbs, one of probably top 3 greatest cricketers of all time. So this is super early Hobbs image. I believe his rookie card is 1907. So this is a 07-08 image of him. So early Hobbs, and this is actually a team postcard that I've actually never seen before. I can find another one where it's kind of landscape style of all these same guys from this cricket team, but I've never seen this vertical one. And it's also got, this is another Hall of Famer. This is Wilfred Rhodes down here, and also, let's see, Sidney Barnes, another Hall of Fame cricketer. So some guys, you know, started to collect cricket over the last several years, and I was one of them. And I just love finding some really cool cricket cards and postcards out there. But let's see. Oh, this is another duplicate for me, but it's another upgrade. This is a 1910 rotary postcard of popular athletes. I've shared this one before. I have a graded copy of it, but this is a nicer copy. And this is just a fantastic card. This was, I think, one that I shared in my crossover cards video. You got Jack Johnson up here in the corner, Hall of Fame boxer. And then Hall of Fame boxer Tommy Burns. Very prominent cricketer C.B. Fry. Hall of Fame cricketer W.G. Grace. Hall of Fame wrestler George Hackenschmidt. Bodybuilder and model Eugene Sandow from the turn of the century. Very, you know, as this is called, popular athletes, very popular athletes from the turn of the century. And this is just one that I absolutely love. This is a very clean back, clean copy, no creases. And kind of to go along with that, set this down right here for a sec. I actually got a rotary postcard of Tommy Burns, and it's the same image that is used up here in the corner. It's just the full postcard image of Tommy Burns. So Hall of Fame boxer Tommy Burns. Super tough postcard to get. Clean back, really nice. I found a whole pile of rotary postcards over in the UK that I picked these up from the same seller. But this is a tough one to get. And then I also managed to get the Sandow, which is the same image that's used down here in the bottom of this postcard. So the Sandow matches there. This is like 1904, 05, Eugene Sandow. So really great shot. You know, I'm not keen on the loincloth there, but you know, I just liked it that it matched down here, so I had to pick that up. And then the last one that was really cool that I found is the matching Hackenschmidt that goes with it. I think this is a 1905 Hackenschmidt postcard as well. So really nice, clean copy. Once again, unposted. But I love finding these images that were off of this one as the actual postcard. So I just thought that was really cool. These are all, you know, rotary postcards. Another Hackenschmidt one. This is a great. This is, I think, 1904 Hackenschmidt. He's posed with Ferdinand Grün, which Ferdinand Grün was his trainer at the time. But just a awesome image. This image is actually used on his 1915 Susini card. So, you know, a decade earlier, they used the image on a postcard for him. and little staining, a little rough on the back, but overall really cool. I was glad I found that. There was the seller that started listing a whole bunch of these ones that had different poses, and this was the main one that I wanted. But great card. This is a 1908 postcard of Hall of Fame wrestler Frank Gotch. And down at the bottom, it says, the champion catch is catch can wrestler of the world. And this was actually the year that he took the title from George Hackenschmidt. So it's a 1908 postcard. It's postmarked in 08. But I just thought that was a great shot of him. I mean, it almost looks like a gangster in this picture. But it's tough to find these early Gotch postcards for a decent price, so I managed to pick this one up for a pretty good price. But just a great image on there. Next, this is a 1923 exhibit of Sam Langford, Hall of Fame boxer. I think Langford's kind of starting to come around with some collectors now. There's been more people starting to pick his stuff up, so his prices have gone up a little here recently. But this is just a great shot. You know, he was more, this is obviously a late postcard of him, because he was more in the mid 1900s to 1910s boxing. But this is just get the clear up there. A really cool picture and postcard of him. So I love finding some cool Langford stuff. This was a great one. And to go along with it this is a super tough set to get, and this is the 1908 Health and Strength postcard series. I think I have maybe about a dozen of them here, and some of these have never been graded before by a grading company, and this Langford is one that's only been graded maybe once or twice. But just a tough postcard series to get. You can see actually in the background here, these are my Tom Thomas postcards. These are actually the only graded examples of those there. I picked those up a few years ago and had them graded. But I managed to pick up a small lot of these from a seller on eBay. And this Langford was included. Man, I got some real glare on there. So get that to clear up. There we go. But cool image. I think this Langford's only been graded between PSA and SGC 3 times. So yes, it is missing a little corner out of it down here, but just such a tough postcard, early image of Langford. So that's a great picture. Next, from that same Health and Strength series. So like I said, the next, maybe 10, 11 or so here are from this Health and Strength series. This is of Stanley Zbyszko. From what I can tell, this one's never been graded before. Blank back on this, but that was the reason why I put the picture there in the background. That is actually a autograph or a signature of Zbyszko. I believe it's possibly from the 30s or so. I bought it from a seller that I got my Hackenschmidt autograph from, and so I got them both together, and the Hackenschmidt, I believe, was from the 30s. And so I think this came from around the same time, but that's a tough signature to get of Stanley Zbyszko. He's a Hall of Fame wrestler. Another Hall of Fame boxer, Owen Moran from the set. I won't go into a lot of detail on a lot of these guys, but just wanted to at least share the card just so you could see him, because these things don't pop up often at all, if ever. And so I felt very fortunate to actually pick a lot of these up. There's some staining on this one. This is probably one of the rougher ones out of the set. Hall of Fame boxer Bob Fitzsimmons. That's another great shot. Kind of standard shot of Fitzsimmons that you see on a lot of his cards, but He was a big time boxer, I think even back in the 1800s. But these all came from the same lot, the same seller. This is another Hall of Fame boxer, Ad Walgast. And let's see, Hall of Famer Johnny Coulon. And I don't even think this one has ever been graded before, so I don't think there's a graded copy of this one out there. Let's see. So I had some notes here on pop counts on these. Next one is Battling Nelson, and this one is also a pop 0, so never been graded. So these are just great postcards, tough to find. Billy Papke. Let's see, I think Papke is another Hall of Famer, and this one's never been graded either. So like I said, these are all 1908. This is a great one. I don't think this one's been graded before, so that would make this one pretty tough card here. But this is a early Sam McVeigh. Sam McVeigh, another Hall of Fame boxer, but he's a great boxer, and not many cards of McVeigh out there. But just a great image. I wish I didn't have so much glare on these things. They're tough. This is a Hall of Fame boxer I like to collect, and this is Freddie Welsh. And this one's never actually been graded before either. Freddie Welsh is actually from Wales. Welsh was a name that he decided on after he started boxing. And he's actually Freddie Thomas. It was his real name. But he ended up going by Freddie Welsh. And from what I read on a story, I don't even know how true it was, but it said that he changed his name to Welsh so his mom didn't know he was boxing. Didn't know it was him. But this is actually a rotary postcard, so roughly 1910 on this of Freddie Welsh. Freddie, obviously a Hall of Fame boxer as well. I don't know if I said that already. Oh man, this is great. This is, some people say George Carpenter, George Carpentier, but I think it's George Carpentier because it was French. But this has to be, in my opinion, one of the earliest, I'll just call him George Carpenter we'll go with. George Carpenter's earliest cards, because I think he started boxing in 1909, and so I believe these are 1910 postcards, rotary postcards. I can't find another copy of this card. So this could be one of the earliest Carpenter cards you can get. Hall of Fame boxer. And this is just a very cool shot. You can just see how young he is. But super tough. And kind of the crown jewel out of all those rotary postcards that I got was this one here. And this is a rotary postcard of Jack Johnson. This card has never been graded by PSA, SGC that I can find an instance of. You can see down at the bottom here, let me see if I can get that to focus on there. The serial number on this is 7169B, and there is a 7169A, and 7169A has been graded by SGC a handful of times, very small handful, I think maybe 4 or 5 times. And this one, I can't find this one ever to be graded. So this is a relatively rare Jack Johnson postcard. Very nice copy, unposted. So feel very lucky to have added this one. I like getting some Jack Johnson stuff. I don't have a ton, maybe 4 or 5 Jack Johnson cards, but this postcard probably going to be one of the top ones for my collection for Jack Johnson. I absolutely love this. And actually this image, I believe, was also used on a 1915 Susini card. So that kind of tells you where the 1915 Susini got some of their images from, was from rotary postcards in the early 1900s. So just a great shot. And then the last few that I have here, they're not Hall of Famers, but I just thought they were great images of prominent jockeys at the turn of the century. And I think these are all like 1903-ish. But this is Lotes, Lane, just great images on these things. Look at that, just stare down of Watts and Otto Madden. So cool images. That's what I had in the background here. This is another one from that set. I just thought it was great to set that up. That's of Trigg. And like I said, none of those guys are Hall of Famers, but I do collect some jockey stuff, and that's why I wanted these. But awesome postcards, and that's actually all I had. And I didn't even touch on this one. This one over here on the left, that is a baseball postcard. I'll actually just pick it up here. I don't know who this is. I've tried doing some research and asking around on this. So if anybody can help me with this, that'd be amazing. But I've tried doing research and it's not posted, so it's hard for me to come up with a specific date on this card. I do think like maybe 1910 to 1913, somewhere in there. But the writing on the back is all in French. And I believe it was from the guy that's actually pictured on the front here. And the interesting piece is that he mentions the Montreal Eastern League. So I have to do some translating there to figure out, who he is. But just a really cool image. And that's pretty much the main reason why I picked it up and wanted to set it out with the rest of these today. But that's all I got for you. Once again, I appreciate you guys watching. Please comment down below if there's anything that you liked or have any questions for me. And don't forget, there's a fine line between a collector and a hoarder. Which one are you?